Hi, today we are making this real-time heat distortion effect in Blender. Let's start. I have this simple scene set up. Two objects with an emissive material and a camera. Head over to the compositor to make this distortion effect. In order to see compositing effects in the viewport in real time, you have to set this to either camera or always. I set it to always. Make a new compositor setup. First, I add some glow to these by using a glare bloom node. Set the quality to high. Adjust the threshold to pick how bright the object needs to be to receive the bloom effect. I adjust the bloom strength and size as well. To create the distortion around these glowing materials, I am going to use the displace node. You can see that I can move the render scene along the X and Y directions. Now, rather than using a fixed uniform value, I will plug a noise texture into this displace socket. Plug the color like this. Strength isn't enough, so I put a vector math scale node in between and increase the scale value. Now we are distorting the image. You can adjust the texture parameters to get different distortions. I increase the scale and add some distortion. Like that. Here we are shifting the image more towards this direction. That's because this noise texture outputs positive values. So this only displays to positive X and Y directions. Just uncheck this normalize and we can distort in all directions. To limit this only to emissive areas, I can use this glare output from this glare node. Plug a color ramp and adjust the sliders like this. Duplicate this scale node, put it here and plug the color ramp result into it. You can see it masks out the noise texture, hence we only see the distortion around the glowing areas. At the moment, the distortion is very static, so I change this noise texture to 4D and plug a scene time node to this W socket. This changes the texture over time. To slow it down, I put a math multiply node and set it to like 0.1. To sell this effect even more, I want to move this distortion up over time. For that, first I grab the image coordinates from this. Plug this uniform into the noise texture vector input. It wouldn't really change anything, it's basically the same as before, but now I can put a vector math add node in between and move the texture up. So I plug a combined XYZ node and plug the scene time into the Y socket. It's moving too fast and also going down, so put a multiply node here and set it to negative 0.1. Now we have a decent looking distortion. Heat usually rises, so I want the distortion slightly above the glowing areas rather than perfectly around it. So to move this up a touch, I put a translate node here and gives it some offset on the y-axis. You can see we slightly push it up. The strength is definitely too much, but it is working. And we can always turn down the strength later. But we have a slight issue when our glowing materials are so close to the edge like this. To fix it, here in the displace node, set this sampling X and Y to extend. We also have to do that here for the translate node as well. That fixes the issue. If you don't want the world background to start distorting along with these emissive materials, you can try to mask that from here, but I think we can do it easily using some render passes. So here in the view layer settings, enable emission pass. This gives me all the emissive areas in the scene. Blender hasn't fully implemented the render passes yet into the real-time compositor, but here in Eevee, I think we are fine. Now, to use this as a mask, you can either blur this and use it here, or what I like to do is plug directly into the glare node. But we are losing the rest of the render, so drag from here and add a color mix node. Set it to add and plug the glare node output into it. Set the factor to 1. Now we have that render image with blue added to it, just like before. Plug this to displace node, and we have our heat distortion effect again, but this time only the emissive areas in the scene cause the distortion. Actually, let's see what happens if we displace the emissive pass and then add it to the render. That's a cool effect indeed. I didn't plan on making a real-time aura effect, but here it is if you are interested. Anyway, I go back to the previous setup because that's what the title of the video says. You can decrease the distortion strength from here for more realism. I keep it slightly higher so you can clearly see it on YouTube. But for renders, this is probably too much. And that's how you can make a real-time heat distortion effect inside Blender. You can add more emissive objects and it will work perfectly. It will work in cycles as well, but it won't be real time. You just have to render first and the distortion will apply later. As usual, project files are available for Patreon members. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.